y'all. Welcome back to another cup of conversation,
where we have conversations worth having.
I'm your girl, Coco.
And I'm your girl, T-Boss.
And today we are at episode 105.
105.
Five.
And we live.
With
our cute sign and our little new little area. I don't know. I like it up in here.
I like it. It's
the
quiet.
vibes are good up in here. And hopefully we run into your favorite aunties podcast so we can, get some girl chatting.
Yes, from our favorite aunties. Because they are our favorite aunties for real in real life. I be watching them all the time. They just had an episode about like being anxious.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And it was really good.
I like the Unrivaled podcast too. I know I seen you been on our page when you was looking at. Yeah, I like them too. That's a good podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We need to.
It's a lot of
with all our cousins up in here.
I wonder what days they come. Car, you need to give us a schedule.
Yeah. We need to connect with our cousins up in here.
Yeah, but speaking of like anxious, I wanted to really talk about like emotions. And this stemmed from because lately I thought I had done all the work that needed to be done. Jesus.
I know I didn't.
Well, it's like almost kind of one of those things that it's never done.
Yeah.
It's never done.
Yeah.
So it's like, especially when you're talking about emotions, because emotions, they are just a part of your everyday life.
Right.
And I've been doing a lot of research. I don't know if you've been seeing our algorithms on our YouTube, but I just been doing a lot of research about the brain and just the brain in today's society and stuff like that. And I also was thinking about how emotions are, we deem them true because they come from us.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily because if they are true.
Right.
Just because it comes from me, I'm saying that it is true.
Right.
And I feel like that's not a good space to be in because I realized that just because something comes from you does not mean that it's a true emotion in a way of you really feeling that way, or you, even if you're feeling that way, is warranted. And also thinking about on the other side of an emotion that is presented to you, believing that that's what it is based off what you assume.
Yeah. Kind of like the whole everybody's feelings are valid type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that they aren't, but if you don't know how to process your emotions certain ways, then just because you are feeling that way don't mean that that's how it went, or that's how, that's how I was trying to portray whatever I was saying.
How you perceive it is what I meant.
Right.
And when I was doing some research and stuff, and I was listening to like different like neuroscientists and stuff like that. One lady, she was.
You must have been listening to what's that lady name that Charlamagne? She got that book.
Joyce Myers. Who is it?
That white lady?
She's a white lady, but
with the short bob.
I think that's Joyce, but I wasn't talking about her. But,
okay.
But yeah, she does.
You must have been watching that lately though, because I've been seeing that a lot on the.
No, but I think I've been watching stuff that she talks about, so she.
Okay.
Because I've been seeing her name too, but I haven't watched her particularly, but she opened up and it really brought me some insight into how we can take stuff too far.
Mm-hmm.
And she made a point about the people that did some type of bombing, the Boston Marathon, the bombing that happened there. One of the people that survived and got tried for that, he had a remorseful statement. He made a statement, but basically how you get sentence is based on how remorseful you are, right?
Right.
And so when he made his statement, his statement was filled with words that would align with being remorseful, but because the jurors felt like he had a stone look on his face, that he wasn't remorseful.
Right.
And she was talking about how they did so much research and realizing that you cannot identify emotion from other people or whatever. Because emotions are literally predictions that your brain is making at the moment, based on what it is experiencing. It's not concrete. It's not a true fact that you're angry. It's not.
I think that all the time when I be watching the little crime shows I be watching, they be like, "Oh, he didn't seem like." How do you know how he felt?
Right, and so she also showed that a blank stare might come off as unremorseful, but a blank stare could also be accepting that you are defeated. accepted.
This is the kind of shit I like to get into.
Yeah, like, okay. So she was saying how he could have been remorseful, but in being remorseful, he was accepting that I am defeated in this moment, and I'm owning that I'm defeated, and how they misread that he was really remorseful or whatever. So that just made me think about all of the times where maybe I've had an argument with somebody and I've taken their reaction that I can physically see as their emotion, when that couldn't have not been that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because when after I said what I said, you was like, oh, this nigga don't give a fuck about what I'm talking about. But that don't mean that. That don't mean that's his true emotion or your true emotion behind something. And so I just wanted to speak to the emotions. I just want to speak to how we view emotions, how we process, how we regulate them when it relates to ourselves, and how we regulate it when it relates to somebody else too.
All right.
So I wanted to know, at what point does being emotional become an excuse for poor behavior first? Like,
oh, that's a good question. Because I do know people who use that. I know people who actively use like, I'm sensitive, or I'm mentally distressed, or all this other stuff, like all their emotions as an excuse to just be shitty people. So I think at some point, once you get to, if you could, number one, start identifying it like that, you telling people, oh, man, I'm fucked up like that. I know how I am, like type shit. The problem, you're not nipping it in the bud. Right, you're not trying to, or even if you are, you kind of like are still glorifying it like it's something to be proud of. Like, I'm not saying you need to ball up in a ball of shame or nothing like that, but you also don't need to act like, everybody should just accept me for how I am, because this is what I do.
I had put on my notes that I was also, because like I said, I'm actively working through this for myself. So I was answering some of these same questions. And so I had wrote that when I become like nasty, or when my emotions cause me to be low-hanging fruit, and it's not emotions anymore, it's emotional chaos, like it's causing chaos, then that's when I know it's not just me having emotion, because emotions come and go. Right. So emotion can be a phase or a moment, but when it becomes to become a part of my character, then that's when I know it's poor behavior. It's not an emotion anymore. This is who you are.
Ask that question again. I want to think of it from a perspective of just me.
At what point does being emotional become an excuse for poor behavior?
So okay, I could say sometimes that I might not choose the right language when discussing things, like if we in a heated argument because of emotions. So that's something that I've been trying to watch doing, because I know how I am. Like I just said, I don't use that as an excuse. I don't try to keep on hitting people where it hurt or taking the low jabs. Like, I'm trying to find the language, actively trying to find the language to say, hey, you piss me off. Or, hey, I'm close to like cutting you the fuck off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Find the words to kind of talk in between that before it gets to all that.
Right. And then I said, what does a lack of controlling your emotion say about you? And like, what does God say about not being able to control your emotion? And so God took me to Luke, and he said that basically what you are always in control of your response. Because first of all, let me go into my next question of why I got there. Should your partner regulate your each other's? Should partners regulate each other's emotions, or is it solely your own responsibility? And I was kind of conflicted with that, because I'm kind of feel like, which is a part of what got me to thinking about emotions. Because why do you keep pissing me off? Why you keep making me angry? Why you keep has some valid points to it. Yeah. But God took me to Luke, and he was like, your response shows what's truly in your heart.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So if
because it goes back to what we was just saying last episode. What would you have done if anybody would have pissed you off? You know what I'm saying? What would you have done if the baby would have made you mad? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it goes back to you. What can you control for yourself? That's why I said, like, my message for myself this whole year since New Year started was finding a language. Because I realized people around me don't have the language. So I started thinking about, well, shit, I'm thinking everybody else ain't got it. Do I got it? Like, you know, so finding the language and the right things to say when you're emotionally frustrated or you don't, you know, you feel sad, mad, whatever the case may be. If you know how to regulate that or say whatever needs to be said in the moment or say, give me a minute, or, you know, if you a blow upper, you know, we probably don't need to talk about this in this heated moment. Give me about 30 minutes. Let me try to get some questions together. You get some questions together and let's talk about this in a few minutes or something.
And another note that I took about sometimes we can be so self-helping to ourselves or either other people that sometimes we overanalyze things. And so one of the things that I took from the thousands of videos that I watched about emotions was a guy. He said that let bad things happen once fully. Like if your spouse or somebody piss you off, or if that's the emotion that stems from something happening in a relationship or outside of a relationship or just in everyday life, let it happen bad. Let that bad thing happen once without it being something you got to rethink about or reanalyze or whatever the case may be.
Without a constraint.
Right. And let it happen and not think about it. Like not overanalyze why did it happen? Why did I feel like that? Because everything doesn't cause for that.
Yeah.
And he made a point to, like, if something happens over and over again and you get that same emotion, then we can talk about it.
Right.
But everything, you kind of clog your brain with overanalyzing certain things when it only happened one time.
Yeah.
You don't even know if what you got from that situation was what was supposed to be perceived.
Yeah. Girl, I have a friend like that. And every time I see a trait or something like that in other people, I go back to like, do I be doing shit like that? Like, am I like that too? Like, and I just noticed that this person overly analyze every little thing. And then when it comes to themselves, they kind of let shit slide. You know what I mean? Or if it comes to somebody that they actively want to be around, they let shit slide. But if it's somebody that I'm already second guessing, I'm going to use this as an excuse. I'm going to make this a big thing. I'm going to keep on harping on it. And I'm just like, I don't know about that. Like you're constantly complaining to me about this, but I don't really know. I'm not on your side with this one because like you're just picking at it. If you don't want that person in your life or whatever, just say that.
Yeah. And then I also thought, like, okay, when I think about like something that might make me angry or that has made me angry, I felt angry in the moment about what Carrie has done. I sit and I'm thinking like, okay, I'm not going to expose that this is making me angry to this person because I don't need this person to be a part of my rationalizing. I don't need this to be a part of my thought process, that person to be a part of my thought process and to even know, to influence anything. You know what I'm saying? So like sometimes, you pissed me. I felt pissed off in the moment. Okay, let me sit back with myself and think about, why did I feel pissed off about this?
Right.
Because a lot of times, another thing that I noticed too was a lot of times we are angry with certain people or certain things when people do certain things, but the anger has already stemmed from when we first woke up.
Something else, yeah.
You was angry when you woke up this morning.
Yes.
That lady saying something to you at work today ain't what made you angry. You was angry when you woke up.
Yes.
And I also remember hearing a sermon by Jerry, and he was saying how it's not normal for believers to wake up annoyed all the time.
Yeah. I listen to that same one.
So is something exactly wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was really like, this has been like, I'm not gonna lie, I've been on social media and I really been trying to get to the root of some shit. Like,
yeah. And you know what's funny is I thought after watching that sermon, it resonated with me. And like every day I be saying, like, when I see people unhappy, I just be like, God give us this day to rejoice in.
Rejoice in it. Yeah, right.
Smile. Like, I said that on my story today. I was just like, man, it be people just looking so mad. Like, if we make eye contact, if you don't hit that, like, do something, like, you know, something like, you could be in your zone. You could be, but if, like, you know, just kind of like be in a present for a second. Like, be here. Yeah. Like, you always
live in gratitude.
Yes. Yeah. You always, people be all over the place. But you said something earlier that made me realize, like, a lot of people just use other people as an excuse to be like, you know, yeah, you made me angry, but like you said, I was already harping on some anger. Or yeah, I know I act this way, but you make me act this way. You know what I'm saying? They use other people as excuse, kind of like a crutch to not do what they supposed to do and work on themselves emotionally. Because like I said, when I identify this in other people, I come back to me. I'm always like, do you act like that? Or do you ever make people feel like that? Right. Like, if somebody make me feel away, or they say something and I see they made somebody else feel away, I always ask myself, like, did I make somebody feel away by saying stuff like that? Or did I, you know what I'm saying? I check myself. Like, I don't understand how many people don't look in the mirror and do that.
I think it's a hard thing to see within yourself, for real. I'm not making an excuse for people, but sometimes I think that it's easier to see what you can see. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't see.
Yeah.
You don't see how you look until you really reflect.
Man, no. Some people are ignoring. Like,
no. I believe that people are ignoring it.
Yeah,
but I'm saying, before you get to a place of ignoring it, sometimes you don't see.
Yeah.
Because even if I can be honest, like, before I got to this point, I wasn't seeing how I was letting my emotion.
I can say that too about myself. Like, I didn't. It's times now where I can look back and like, oh, I really didn't understand I was doing that,
right? Or
I really didn't understand what was going on. But 2 Chainz, he been on a press run for a book he got called "The Voice in My Head Is God," and I've been listening to. I just listened to his Poor Minds interview. I listened to him on Breakfast Club the other day, and I think it don't matter who you praising.
Right.
Everybody got a voice in their head, a conscience in their head. Whether you listen to it or not is up to you. Totally up to you.
Right.
I think a lot of people ignore their better judgment off of, like, you know, they know, you know, we grown. We know if you drink and drive, this what could happen. Like, a lot of people act like they're so oblivious to little common facts. Like, it. And I kind of like equate that to like I always say the hood mindset or the poverty mindset, because a lot of people sit in that and just be like, I know what I should be doing, but you know, this cool right now.
No, I think that I don't even think that people don't know. I think that, or they know and they just not listening to it. They are not listening to it. But at the end of the day, I think that when you don't have some type of real source or connection to something higher than you are, it's easy to succumb to your flesh. Like, the flesh is way stronger than we want to give it credit for.
Or we might not, or they might not be hearing the same type of voice we hear.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, depending on how far you strayed away,
exactly.
The voice in your head might be telling you to go fuck that nigga up. Like, it might be telling you to go do, you know,
exactly
what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
do exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, so it's like,
I get both sides of
you gotta have a sense of some type of anchor, like, for real, that is not the norm of your thoughts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like whenever you feel, this is another thing to think about too. Whenever you feel like you always in agreement with your thoughts, that's not a sign of, I'm aligned. Sometimes that's a sign of you're out of alignment.
Yes.
You get
you're giving into what you want.
Yeah, like,
you're doing what you want to do.
Too many times. Yeah. So it's like, it's time to really evaluate, you know, what's going on.
That's good.
But my next one was, how much of conflict comes from people wanting to be understood but not wanting to understand? How much of our conflict comes from that?
If I had to put a percentage on it, I would say about 85 to 90%, just because I've had times where I chalk it up to little stuff. Like, I could be on the phone with somebody trying to vent about something, and then they throw, girl, yeah, I understand because this would happen to me, and then they on to their story. You want to be understood, yet you're not trying to really understand. Like, you ain't follow up, ask some questions, fuck nigga. Ask them, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tell me you listening to my story or something, or more than like, because I can't always be in the right. You can't agree with everything I'm saying. So ask some questions, you know what I'm saying? Like, be intuitive to what I'm talking about. You ain't even really into it for real, because you want to be understood. You want to, you
didn't have that moment when you was misunderstood.
Yeah.
So now you just trying to bring it back around.
Exactly. Like, I would say a very high percentage. I literally at this, like, lately stopped talking to people because I don't get nothing out of it. I don't like the people that I talk to. A lot of them don't have the language. You ain't asking questions. You ain't, like, when me and you talk, if I'm ever venting to you, you always asking, like, so, well, what if it's just, or, X, Y,
right.
Why ain't you asking no follow-up questions? You don't.
Why you not being my therapist?
You ain't got, you understood everything I said. You ain't got no bullet point proof. You ain't got nothing in the story. You want to go back and, let's go back to this point, because right here, I really didn't understand what you were saying about how you was in the right, but it sounded like to me that you was tripping a little bit. Something.
Let's
Give me something.
Back and forth.
It's like, that's how I know you ain't trying to understand. A lot of people are not listening. They just talking.
Yeah. I think it comes from too, like, being in constant communication or in relation with people that are those type of people. That would push me to always want to be understood. If I've only had people that never understood me, never knew how to regulate their emotions, never knew how to give me any feedback when we in a conversation or in an argument.
That's how your family grew up, like, your people.
So any chance I get, I'm trying to be understood. Like, cause these niggas over here don't understand me. I'm coming from people not understanding me. So maybe this person understands. Maybe she don't understand. Maybe this person understands. So it's always like a constant, like, I gotta be understood. And just the understanding part, that's accountability. That takes a lot of accountability. And a lot of people haven't even graduated to accountability just yet. So I think that wanting to be understood is that almost kind of like that surface level part.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to be understood. It's like that being a baby. You know what I'm saying? And then having understanding is like, that's a big girl. You got to put your big girl draws on to do that. You know what I'm saying? So,
because I think having understanding takes it away from you personally.
Right.
A lot of people want it to me, all about me. But having understanding, you have to consider other people. My feelings was hurt like that, but I wonder how he felt when in that moment, or she felt in that moment. Like, I didn't think about it. Like, and I don't think enough people sit back and do that. That it's always a complaint or a spite about what I could be doing, me, or how somebody could have treated me
better.
Yeah. So I was just, like you said, I think sometimes my want to be understood is from talking to people like that. But I'm starting to get to a point where I'm just considering the next person, because I don't have many. I have probably one or two people who ask me the why questions, like you, maybe one other person. But I appreciate those little relationships. Maybe God is making me stay in the other ones so I can be the why person. Right. You know what I mean? I can talk reason into somebody.
Right.
Because I feel like one of my friends is actually getting a lot from me. Like, every time I be like, and I bring your name up in topics all the time. But, oh yeah, I hate to always bring Coco up, but Coco said this one time. He was like, girl, don't be mad that that's your friend, and y'all talk about stuff, you get shit from her, like, and it just pieces up shit. And once you ask why questions, it kind of like, oh yeah, we get a little away from this under surface. Now we starting to, like you said, graduate to thinking about other people and their feelings.
Yeah. Is emotional maturity the ability to feel deeply, or the ability to pause before responding?
Pause before responding. And having a proper language to regulate your emotions and say what you're trying to feel, so you ain't like a baby just screaming what you feel,
I said that too. I said I think both.
Okay.
Because I think...
different situations would call for different things.
Yeah, I said feel deeply too, because I feel like a lot of times our I put, you know how you put a star by your favorites list? Your favorite. I think our favorites is being angry. That's an easy emotion.
Of course.
Being sad, like those surface level emotions. I think that those are all of our word-based emotions. Right. But I think in order to be able to feel deeply or be in your feelings a little bit deeper, you'll get out of that more what is it called? Accelerated or advanced emotion.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, I was just perplexed. I was just
right.
Like, you know, it causes you to have more than just pop off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bubba recently kind of steered me into a direction of putting emotions on him, because for the longest I used to tell him when he'd be like, why you got attitude? Stop putting the attitude on me when I'm thinking, just because I'm quiet. Like, stop putting that on me. So recently I had been asking him, like, if I come in and I see a certain look on his face, I'd be like, you stressed? And he'd be like, no, stop trying to, I'm anxious. I'm anxious because I'm trying to figure some shit out, like learning them different.
I like that.
We're going from you know, kindergarten to we're intermediate now. Yeah. Like, you know, now we need to graduate a little bit on high school and college. You know, we moving on up.
Right.
Like we getting to it.
Exactly. No, so I think it's kind of both, because I think once you know how to feel deeper, I feel like you'll know how to pause before you respond.
Right.
Because it'll give you something to think about.
Yeah. Because you're thinking about the language. You thinking about the stuff you want to say. You're not thinking about the first thing that come to mind. You thinking like if you watch certain interviews, you might see people that have good shit to say, might say, that's a good question, and pause for a little minute before they just go into talking about, you know, because not only am I thinking about how to answer the question, I'm thinking about the emotional way, you know.
How I really truly feel, not what I just heard.
Exactly.
Regurgitating information.
Exactly. Yeah. And then also taking it away from a hurt place of me. Like if I'm speaking from somewhere where this is reminiscent of something else, take that away from if you just answering the question and it ain't got nothing to do about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Take that away from that. Because a lot of people
answering out of hurt. Ooh.
Yes. That's why a lot of people be in them comments going off on each other. I be like,
you don't even know this person.
You is talking about fuck they mama and shit. Yeah. Like, and you are taking it far. Why are you this hurt in the comment section? Right. Like that's crazy. Somebody did that to me recently. Facebook is a dangerous place, child. Like,
oh God. Well, what I'm finding out over this time being off, like just the mental strain that it has on our brain, like
I agree with you.
It's not a safe place at all. But I was gonna say something. Dang, what was I about to say?
Oh, they was happy to see you on IG the other day too. They was happy.
When? What I put?
That video you sent me, I posted it.
Oh my God, T.
I thought that's why you sent it to me.
No. What they said.
Oh, they was just laughing.
Girl.
They was laughing.
Looking a mess.
Tierra was like, I was wondering where she was at.
No, and you know what? And that's another thing, like, I was gonna talk about, before I say this, but I was gonna talk about I'm just like, I feel so like really like different now. Like I'm not trying to be overly deep, but I feel different because like even yesterday, me and Carrie had a little spat. And he was like, I don't understand why you just don't trust me. And I was just like, when he said it, it was just like, nigga, you always say, just because I don't want to agree to what I don't trust you. I don't trust your, that ain't what it's about. And so I was really able to express how I really felt. And I had texted him back and I was like, trust is not the right word. It's not that. I was like, I feel like, I asked him a question before I even told him how I felt. I said, what do you do with the information that I give you?
Right.
Because if you just take it and say, oh, she just don't trust me, what are you really doing with I'm talking. I'm a talker, so I'm going to talk some stuff out.
You ain't processed everything.
I just had a whole dissertation. What did you do with that information? And he talk about what you mean. Nigga, what I asked. What you did with what I just told you.
Right.
Because
how did you couldn't have read that thoroughly? Like, did you go back over it, spark notes? Did you ask yourself some questions or something?
I had to give him bullet points. Let me go to our test because I had to give him bullet points. I was like, he's talking about why. I said no. I said, well, it's not about me trusting you. I told him, I said, what bothers me is I'm married to somebody that don't value the things that I say. Like you're not taking serious the things that I say. Mm-hmm. And he was like, why you think I don't value that? So I gave him bullet points. One.
You ain't listening. Look, I just typed all this out and you ain't listen when I said this.
Right.
And then I said that. And all you took from that is I don't trust your word just because I'm asking you questions.
But I really felt good about our conversation because it ended up being a verbal conversation.
It seems pretty healthy.
Right. That's what I said.
Everybody might say that's a that's an argument. I don't like y'all throw that word on everything. Yeah. That's a healthy conversation.
I felt like it was very productive for both of us, and it took away the argument part. It took away, I feel like
Yeah.
No, let me give you reasonable. This is what happens when I say this is why I feel like you don't value it because this is why I don't.
So you think men and women take social media in different? Like it might be better for us to stay off of it a little more because we gonna process everything we see.
Yeah. I'm that's what I'm saying. I feel like a totally different person now because whereas it was an overload of information for me because it's not even about like people was like, oh, that might just be your timeline. It's not about the negative on my timeline. Like, oh, I follow.
It's just so many
stuff.
Different things.
It's
you
just
getting to focus in one area.
It's like
you on YouTube looking up brain stuff. So now you looking up brain shit. You watching all these videos. You ain't gotta go from brain shit to the political shit.
Yeah.
To you ain't gotta be scatterbrained.
Exactly. I want to work out. And then I go over here. Oh, the girl like, okay, in order to work out, you got to do this. Then I go over here and then this coach doing this. It's just too much noise.
Yeah.
And like literally, this has been the first time in a long time that I have stayed focused with working out. I worked out every day this week except yesterday.
I need to delete my apps.
Baby, when I tell you, like,
I'm with that shit.
I've been doing things that I like me doing my makeup in the morning, going to work. It's not even about like, it's just about me feeling good. Yeah. Like I want to feel good. I want to be presented in the best way possible.
And deeper than that, it's about you having a discipline, like to do stuff that I said in my mind, I want to do this.
Exactly.
I can get up with my body and do it. Mm-hmm. People don't understand how sometimes they body override what they mind say. Like your mind is telling you want to go work out, but your body is saying, shit, I'm tired. So you went into the I'm tired mode. Your body is saying that. Your mind ain't even say that.
I got off work. I was tired, quote unquote.
Right.
I was tired,
right,
and not go work out, and I did, and I felt so good after like
you
even getting in the car before I got to the workout. I felt good just defeating, putting my workout clothes on and getting in my car again after I just got out of my car. So it's just like I just been feeling like I told Tierra actually did her and Sana, they both inboxed me like earlier this week, mm-hmm. and they were like, hey, where you been? She was like, I ain't been seeing you. And Oksana was like, how you feeling, girl? I thought about you the other day. I hadn't been seeing you. And I felt really good about that. But more than anything, like I was telling Sierra, like I feel like I probably felt, because I can't really remember it, but I feel like I felt before we had phones.
Yeah. Me and my sister was literally just talking about this last night.
Yeah.
She said the same thing you said right before you deleted. She said, I'm tired of waking up and going straight to my phone.
Yeah.
I'm tired of waking. And it's like, I want to go back to that. I'm actively thinking of ways how to separate myself from, like, mm-hmm. for example, she said something about, and I think I'm going to start this. Tomorrow's daylight savings time on Sunday. Mm-hmm. She said after her clock changes to the new time, she'll never change it back because we should just be following the sun. Do that make sense?
Yes.
When like they moving the time saying, when you get off at 5, it should be dark outside. But the whole time, you really should have just woke your ass up when the sun came up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When she said that, I said,
yeah, that's
bitch,
good.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm probably, yeah. Because then I still got to be at work for day 8, but I done been up for 2 hours.
Yeah.
In the morning. You know what I'm saying? Because I got up when the sun.
Mindset that right there anyway. That's how they work.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it could all be so simple. It really could.
Yeah, we overcomplicate things, and I think that
I never understood daylight savings, so.
Screen time and social media. I'm sorry, I'm coming away from the mic. But the screen time itself, just all of it. Even because sometimes, like, even though I'm not on social media, I find myself like getting on
YouTube
to look at a video. Like, okay, well, let me learn something. But sometimes that can be too much too.
Right.
So I've been telling myself I need to find. Now I'm working on finding a book that will help me with my imagination.
Okay.
And so
this is so crazy. Like, stuff just really be aligning, because I was really looking. I asked ChatGPT for books, for stuff like, not stuff that we talk about, but kind of like just to give us different language instead of doing our research like that. And I was looking up books like that we would probably enjoy about Black women, growth, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? That we can kind of book club them. I read one, I pass that bit to you. You read something, you pass it to me.
And that's another thing I've been thinking about, like different hobbies that I can do that'll help stimulate my mind. A girl, she got off our socials, but she got rid of her iPhone. Yeah. She went back to a flip phone because she's saying she did a TED Talk. I watched her TED Talk about it. And she was just saying about the screen in general and how
I believe it
affects your brain. And so she went to a flip phone, but she talked about how she would call her friends randomly and have like at least 30 to 45 minute conversations with her friends. And it felt odd to them at first. That's weird that it even felt odd to do that. But she was like, that's how far we have gotten away from true communication, true community. And she was like, just going like now, I don't even get on YouTube. Like I go to a book club or I go to this, like just to really
that's how
stimulate my brain.
We have gotten so far. I called my auntie, like I did like a family like around call when I got off work like last week. I called my brother. I called my granny, my brother, my mom, and my auntie. Mm-hmm. And when I made it to my auntie, because I don't talk to her that much, we talk on Facebook, we talk texting. And when I got to her, she was like, "Oh, I thought you needed something." I said, "No, I'm just calling everybody, checking in on y'all, seeing how y'all doing, you know."
But that's what we have.
How you feeling?
Oh my God.
Like
relationships.
She was like taken aback, like, what's going on? You all right? Something about to happen? No, I'm just trying to see if you all right. Shit.
I even thought it was normal that nobody had reached out. I didn't feel no type of way that nobody had reached out since I've been off social media. It wasn't until Tiara and Oksana reached out to me that I'm like, why haven't nobody else reached out? I have kind of been, if that's our main...
We don't know where you are.
Exactly. Like
we don't know.
You haven't texted me. You haven't said nothing like, hey, especially if it's out of my normal activity. You get what I'm saying? So I think the thought that alarmed, not even made them feel like bad, like something was wrong with me, but the thought to even text me.
It's a different mindset.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I told Tiara that, and I was like, this really has,
and that shows why they got the amount of friends and shit that they got. You know what I mean? Like, that shows why they have the community and people that they...
I was like, this is why their friend group is the way it is. Yeah. Because they literally are different.
Yes.
Yeah.
That goes to show, like, them little crime shows that I watch. If somebody, I be seeing, they be patterns, and and they friends be on that, because she posts every day. Like, if she didn't post this, I feel like something was wrong. And then they'll be like, I gave it a day, but if she ain't at least text me, I definitely, like, I know she gonna get back. Like just checking on your friends' patterns and knowing your friends, and
yeah,
actually caring and worrying about them. Yeah. Like
having a real relationship outside of what people can see.
Yes. That's emotionally connected.
Yes. So yeah,
this was a good one. This was a good one.
20 minutes over.
This was a good, not 20 minutes, but this was a good one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. This was good. We could have went all day with this one. Yeah. Hope y'all enjoy. Hope y'all take. What would you want somebody to have taken from this episode?
To go into your emotion a little bit deeper than surface level. Just really sit with yourself sometime on the things that keep coming up.
Right.
Just one time, don't dwell on it. Let it be just that one interaction. It went bad. It didn't go as you planned. But if it's something that keep happening, I would just say really like look into it on the role that you play and how you can perceive things differently.
Right.
And not be offended.
Right.
Don't have the spirit of offense.
I love that. Yep. Well, we'll see y'all next week. Deuces. Bye.